We just finished installing the 3 lights, and in this video I want to show you how to configure them in the app and how to set up a schedule for them. To do this, we go into the PoEWit's app, and from the main screen we would go into the Lights tab, and here you'll see all the different lighting groups. In this case, we only have one lighting group called Outdoor Front Lights, and of course we have the UPS tab, the PoEWit's switch, the Schedule tab, and then we have our Maintenance tab. So let's go back to the Lights tab, and the lights can only be brought into a group, and in this case we're going to bring it into the Outdoor Front Lights group. And from this dashboard we have an on-off button which allows us to turn the lights off or on from a group level, and if we had any schedules created, it would be displayed here. Finally, this is a dashboard of the solutions we have in this group, and we currently have no lights. We have one wall switch already installed and one motion detector. So let's bring in the lights by going to the menu and hitting Edit. And from here, we have the Lights tab, which is empty right now. Then in the Wall Switch tab, we have one wall switch called Garage. And finally, in the last tab, we have one motion detector called Outside Motion. So let's go back to the Lights tab. And in order to bring in the lights, we have to go through our discovery by hitting this plus sign, and it'll scan the network, and whatever is on the same network, it will automatically display here. After the scan is done, we see there are 3 lights that were discovered. Now, if you notice, once I hit the check button, this indicator is blinking, and if you look at this video of the light, it is actually blinking as well. So you know this light is the one you're bringing in. So let's go to the next one, and again you will see that one blink as well. And then finally the last light, which again is blinking to physically indicate to you which one you're selecting. And then we hit save. Now we have added all 3 lights into the group. So we can hit close. You will see them displayed in the group. 2 of these lights are endpoint lights, so they don't have a pass-through. The last one is the PT model, and that one does have a pass-through. So I will show you the difference in the setup screen when we go to edit them. Also, you will notice they are automatically labeled with their part numbers. That way you can identify each one. First, let's go into the first light and hit edit. And from here, if this light was pass-through, we would have the ports indicated down here in this space. But given that it's not pass-through, it doesn't have anything. The first thing we can do is go and name this light. So in this case, let's name it Garage. And in this area, it shows you if you want this light to stay on during an emergency shutdown situation. So in other words, when PoEWit's UPS indicates that it has lost power, this light will come on and reduce its brightness to about 50% based on the slider bar. So let's accept it and hit save for now. Now that the garage light is renamed, I can turn the light off and on. Now we're not going to rename the next one, but let's go into the RG6, the outdoor security light, and let's hit the edit menu. And this one is a pass-through model, so the first thing that we will do is give it a name. Let's call it Outside, and then hit done. Next is the emergency section. So if you wanted to stay on during an emergency situation, you could leave it checked. And here are the ports for the pass-through. So this particular model has 2 PoE pass-through ports, port 1 and port 2. If something was connected here, we would see this in yellow, and if it was drawing PoE, it would have a lightning bolt going through it. Also, with this slider bar, we could power cycle the PoE port. So let's hit save to accept that, and as you can tell, the outside light is now set up. I could control this lighting group with the wall switch that is installed. And whenever this motion detector is triggered, then all the lights will come on as well. Now let's create a schedule for this lighting group. It is called Outdoor Front Lights. So to create a schedule, I go into the Schedule tab, and I can create one by hitting the plus sign. And from here, we can call it Sunset, and hit OK. Next, if I click the button, I could select a time, but in this case, we don't want to do that. We just want the lights to come on during sunset. So that's the button right here. This schedule will now run at sunset, and given I'm currently on the West Coast Pacific Standard Time, it is showing that it's set for 5:57 p.m. And I can also do an offset by up to 120 minutes plus or minus. But let's just keep it on the current time for now. And I can also select the days I want it to come on. And in this particular case, let's say I want it to come on only Monday through Friday. Now I have to select the group that I want this schedule to run. And here's my lighting group. And if I had more lighting groups, you would see them listed here. So let's select this group by checking it and hitting save. The last tab here is to indicate whether I want the lights to come on or turn off. So in this case, I want them to turn on. And also, one of the unique features of this is we could adjust the brightness of the lights. So in this case, let's take it all the way down to 10% because I want them to be very dim. Now these lights could go full bright if the motion detector is triggered, but for now I just want them at 10%. So we hit save and that's it. So I just created my schedule and it's applying and it came back successful. So here we see the summary of the schedule. Let's go back to the lighting tab, and in this summary of the schedule, which is applying to the group, you can clearly see that this lighting group is attached to the schedule. And that's it. Your lights are now configured and on a schedule. Thanks for watching. If you like our videos, don't forget to follow, share, and subscribe. See you next time.